Hello, dear students. I am back to discuss modern history, and today I am going to discuss series of events which took place during the last decade of Indian struggle for independence. So, in previous discussion, I dealt with August offer that was forwarded by contemporary viceroy, that is Lord Linlithgow. Linlithgow is still viceroy in India. So now I am going to discuss Cripps mission, which followed August offer. After August offer had failed, British government and His Majesty did not discontinue their efforts to renegotiate and calm down the differences which had come to exist between Indian side and His Majesty. The purpose was to seek full-fledged and wholehearted cooperation from Indian side against war which was going on within the Europe, and that war was basically against fascism. So in 1942, British government decided to send another mission, and that was under the chairmanship of Stafford Cripps. And before we go into the details of what this mission had to offer to India, let us understand the political scenario within India and outside India. So, Britain, which was once very mighty empire, which was considered invincible and inconquerable, had eventually suffered several defeats on various fronts. Just to mention a few, it had suffered reversal in northern Africa and in East Africa, and its situation in Europe was also very wobbly. The foundation which it had developed was not firm anymore. It had become very shaky in the face of attack from Germany under the Hitler. So Britain was very desperate to seek help from all its allies and colonized people. So its bargaining power was not the same anymore. Instead of becoming an agent discussing from the top, it had actually turned downside. Now it was at the receiving end, and India had gained upper hand. It is for this reason that Britain needed to negotiate with Indian politicians to sort out the differences and get them ready to support Britain against the Germany. So in 1942, it sent Stafford Cripps, who was known for his remarkable political acumen, not only within Britain. He was also a credible person in America. In fact, all over world, all these statesmen were familiar with his political acumen. And besides these details, we must also understand that public opinion, which had come to surface in Britain and in America, had been asking for India's freedom. So, British public opinion had also tilted in favor of India's freedom at earliest, and British government had come under tremendous pressure in the wake of this demand, which was coming from the public quarter, and it could not have afforded to overlook the pressure which the very public which it was representing was asking for. So, given all this pressure, it managed to send Stafford Cripps. Stafford Cripps had already visited India during 1939 and 1940, and because of that, he had already maintained contact with very important leaders like Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Jawaharlal Nehru, Muhammad Maulana Abul Kalam Azad and Sapruji and various other leaders, Gandhi ji, and he had managed to develop a very friendly relationship with most of them. So there was a lot of hope, not only from Indian side, even from the British side, that, that this mission would break the deadlock which was ongoing from August offer. So they were looking out for some hope out of this mission. So the question is whether Cripps mission managed to come up to this atmosphere of hope, positive hope, which had developed. So that is the question which we will try to answer and which we will try to understand. Uh, the the question is that did Cripps mission have anything new to offer? Did it have anything which was not contained in the previous proposal, that is the August offer? So by and large, the question answer to this question would be that no, there was hardly anything new. It is for this reason that Maulana Abul Kalam Azad he criticized Cripps mission on the basis of this fact that it was just a change of language, but the content was the same, body was the same, the dress was different. I mean, this is what Maulana Abul Kalam Azad had to say about this proposal. So there was hardly anything. Why did he say so? Because even in this proposal, British government was not still ready to grant India full freedom. It wanted India to wait till the end of World War II, which India was not ready. India was undoubtedly in favor of supporting Britain against Germany, but simultaneously it wanted to get assurance from Britain, and that assurance was related to the full freedom and permission to form a constituent assembly, to form and to make constitution. So the Indian politicians wanted to initiate this process of constitution making as early as possible without waiting for the end of the war. And they also wanted to do all these activities without having much interference or no interference from British side at all. But British side was not ready, and it is not that Stafford Cripps did not want India to gain full freedom and uh, also get approval to form constituent assembly and initiate the process of constitution making. But his hands were tied up. His hands were tied up by virtue of draft declaration which he had started his journey with. That draft declaration was devised by War Cabinet in Britain, and although Stafford Cripps himself was member of War Cabinet, however, he was instructed by Winston Churchill, who was Prime Minister of Britain at that point of time, that he will not propose or do anything which is less than this draft declaration or more than this draft declaration. So nothing less, nothing more than draft declaration. Thus, he was supposed to adhere to the contents of this draft declaration. So, what was the most important element in this draft declaration? It had to do with this matter relating to the defense. So, matter relating to defense, there was a big debate over this matter. Indian politicians wanted that this all matters related to defense should be handed to India and Indian Defense Department rather than War Department of the Britain. But the Viceroy and the British Parliament was not in favor of granting this full power to Indian side, Indian Defense Department. They only wanted to hand over certain subjects of the defense which were of insignificant matter in the view of Indian politicians. So when this division took place, where India also had a lot to share in defense related matter, India was still unsatisfied because the subjects which were assigned to Indian Defense Department, Indian politicians did not view those subjects as important. Those subjects were considered secondary. Important subjects were still with the commander in chief. Hmm. So, to break this deadlock, USA President's envoy, personal envoy, Louis Johnson had also mediated, and he tried to develop one formula whereby majority of the power and majority of the subject was ultimately handed down to Indian Defense Department. But Lin Lithgow, who should have been consulted in all this matter, was not consulted, and this happened to upset Viceroy Lin Lithgow, and this also happened to upset British Parliament and in general, and Winston Churchill in particular, because Viceroy was an important authority, and bypassing and overlooking Viceroy in all this process was actually tantamount to a great degree of disrespect for that status of station of that Viceroy. And it is for this reason that Cripps mission was criticized at home. That is one thing. One more thing I would like to add to this discussion, that Stafford Cripps was uh, so famous for his political acumen and for his soft tone and his skillful discussion with all the parties, that he was liked by a large number of people, to such an extent that at one point of time he began to be seen as a challenger to the Winston Churchill. So he became far more popular than Winston Churchill. So he had become very popular figure. So when was present in India, people had a lot of hope. They all hoped that Cripps mission would break the deadlock which had come to dominate the political scenario in India, and between India and the British. So that was one thing. Muslim League depressed class had also a lot of hope from this mission. These minority bodies and these depressed class bodies were hoping that this mission would have something particular for reserved for them, but there was nothing like this. So they were also not very happy with this, this package which Cripps Mission had brought for India. That is one thing. One proposition which was an integral part of this mission was related to the right of provinces and Indian states, especially princely states. The In this provision, there was a arrangement that these princely states, Indian states, were given freedom to adhere to Indian Union or to opt out of it. So this freedom which was given to these Indian states was not considered welcome move by most of the Indian parties and the politicians. Hindu Mahasabha, Indian National Congress, Mahatma Gandhi, and all important leaders, they dismissed this particular arrangement in equal measure. So they were against this proposal because uh, this was actually against the philosophy of Indian unity. So that was tantamount to the tinkering with the Indian unity, Indian Union. So they all dismissed it. And the most important thing about this Cripps mission was that, like previous proposal, it was also very futuristic. It was of promissory nature. That after the war, post-war, positive things which it had promised would take place, and the status which it had promised to India was still not the full scale freedom. It wanted India to remain dominion status. So this also upset Indian side. So what was the consequence? Was it accepted by Indian side? No, it was not accepted by eventually, by and large, everybody dismissed it. And the way individual satyagraha was started in reaction against the August offer against Cripps mission, Quit India movement was started, and that turned out to be very massive. Most of the Indian leaders were arrested, and so this ultimately became leaderless movement. But the intensity which we get to see during this period was remarkable and noticeable. So Cripps mission was again it was one of the events in the series of events, and it also met with failure like the previous mission. So that is it for all you to understand, for all of us to understand. And the book which I have referred for this discussion is a book by V.P. Menon. It is called The Transfer of Power in India, and there is a chapter on this Cripps mission. If you get time, you kindly refer to the chapter, and you may add on some more important information if you have. That's it.